2-minute drill on 1520 The Ticket. I'm Scotty Matthews along with Frank Spaeth, and today we've got a very special guest joining us. We'd love to welcome current Minnesota Vikings Pro Bowl MVP tight end Kyle Rudolph to the show. Kyle, man, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Hey, sounds like you're a busy man these days. Mini camp on the horizon, on the verge of raising a family, and also the reason we've got you on the air today, Second Harvest Heartland. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I'm excited to go down later on this morning and through the help of Smithfield's Helping Hungry Homes tour, we're donating 60,000 pounds of protein to the Second Harvest Heartland. So extremely excited about the opportunity to make an impact in the Twin Cities community. And, you know, I couldn't do it without the help of Smithfield and their Helping Hungry Homes tour. So we got a lot of protein to donate today.
How'd you get involved with the program, Kyle?
Smithfield's doing their Helping Hungry Homes tour. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, exactly. Right, even twice.
They're doing 30 donations throughout the country in Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Twin Cities community just happened to be one of their stops that they chose this year. So, I was able to get involved with them. And, my wife, Jordan, and I, we've kind of made the Twin Cities our home now. And, we love to give back to the community and try to impact the community as best we can. So, it was just an awesome thing for us to get involved with.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, how can we help to do our part?
Anyone can just get online at 2harvest.org. That's the number 2harvest.org. And, you can get on there and just learn more information, basically, at how to help out, whether it's donating your time, donating some money, donating food, any kind of non-perishables, canned foods, pastas, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Now, you'll personally be there on site helping the representatives unload all that meat, correct?
I will. Yeah, they're not going to let me get off without unloading the truck, that's for sure.
Will that count as your day of weight training, Kyle?
I might have to consider that. We'll see after unloading 60,000 pounds of protein how I feel, if I'll go get my workout in or not.
That sounds like a workout all by itself, man.
It does.
Now, getting into the football side of things, Cal, if you don't mind, how do you feel about the current roster heading into the 2016 season? Do you see the Vikings repeating as NFC North champs?
There's a lot of excitement around our organization right now. Very young, talented football team. I think the most talent we've had on our roster in quite some time. Definitely over my 6 years here. And with the season that we had last year comes much higher expectations. We always have the same expectations this time of year. All 32 teams, have goals of winning a championship. And, for us being the defending NFC North champs, we'll have a little bit bigger target on our back than we did this time last year. So, for us, it's just about getting back to the fundamentals and, building a solid foundation as we have so far this offseason. And here in a couple of weeks, we'll get down to Mankato and get ready for the 2016 season.
Hey, as Vikings fans, Kyle, what do you think we're going to see next season that's going to be different from last year?
Well, there's this pretty cool stadium that we're going to be playing in, so we're extremely excited about that.
Yeah, I've heard something about that here and there.
But yeah, for us, it's we'll bring that same identity that we've found is successful for us. And that's being a smart football team. Winning close games, doing things the right way, playing really good defense, and on offense, it's running the football, controlling the game, and just kind of wearing teams out.
Now, which player, going back to your childhood, which player did you idolize growing up? And do you try to model your own game from them, or do you just try to be the best player Kyle Rudolph can be?
Growing up, I was just a huge fan of the game, period. I grew up in the 90s, so I loved watching the Dallas Cowboys with the triplets and, watching Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, all the success that they had. And then, as I got older and I eventually moved to the tight end position, watching guys like Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten, guys that are played at such a high level for a long time and guys that I think do it the right way. So I've watched their games very closely and tried to emulate things in their game in my game. And, that's just about trying to become, like you said, the best player that I can become.
You came from Cincinnati, so you mentioned a lot of Cowboys there. Are you a Cowboy fan, or were you a Bengals fan growing up?
No, I wouldn't say I was a fan of any one team. Like I said, I just loved watching football, whether it was high school football on Friday, college football on Saturday, or the NFL Sunday and Monday. All fall, all weekend long, there was football on, and I was watching.
So then, if you weren't playing for the Vikings, who would you say would be your number 2 team to want to play for?
I don't have another favorite team. I love it here in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities, and I'm glad. I can't believe it's already coming on my 6th season here with
That's
the Vikings.
awesome.
But
So glad to
love
have
it
you here.
and I'm glad to be here.
Well, before we bore you with a ton of football questions, we certainly want to wish you congratulations on the announcement that you and your wife made at Target Field about having twins. But didn't you know we already have a professional athlete or two from Minnesota who did that first? I mean, do you really have to copy Joe Mauer?
There's a couple. Can't forget about Zach Parisi as well. He's got twins, so it's something in the water up here. I guess.
It's got to. It's something that 10,000 lakes.
You already got him set to be named Minneapolis and St. Paul?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Minnie and Paul. Well, before you go, give us a stat line you'd love to see from yourself after the upcoming season once it's over with. People love their fantasy football, so how many catches and how many touchdowns would you like to make this year?
For me, it's just about catching as many as possible. Whatever
answer.
that is. Obviously the tight end position is a unique one that, catches, yards, touchdowns. They're great, and they make fantasy football owners very happy. But in our offense, there's a lot of other things that I have to do for us to be successful. And for me, it's as long as I'm doing those things, obviously I love running around catching balls. That's, the thing I enjoy most. But, my job requires quite a few other things. And, if I'm keeping Zim happy and, all my coaches are happy, then I'm happy.
That's awesome. Well, Kyle, we certainly want to thank you for your time today. As we know, life is pretty chaotic these days. Congrats again on the upcoming family, and good luck with today's events and this upcoming season.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Kyle. Take care, man. Have a fun today.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
That'll do it for this edition of the 2-Minute Drill. Special thanks to Kyle Rudolph for joining us today on 1520 The Ticket. You can check out more stories right now at 1520theticket.com, and be sure to like us right now on Facebook, 1520 The Ticket. For Frank Spaeth, I'm Scotty Matthews. See you back here next time.